6:03 on this Friday morning, and the uncertainty continues for scores of federal workers right here in the DMV. Yesterday, hundreds of federal workers were told that they were no longer needed. This comes after the Trump administration ordered federal agencies to lay off nearly all probationary employees. Now, this morning, some of those workers are expected to show up at rallies across the city. Marcella Robertson joins us live from Southwest D.C. with more on this widespread impact. Marcella.
Allison, good morning. Such a widespread impact we were talking about here, not just here in the DMV for federal workers, but really across the entire country. And in about 2 hours, people are expected to gather here at the Department of Health and Human Services for a rally. Of course, all of this is in response to those layoffs that we have seen from the federal government and, in response to the Trump administration's efforts to shrink the federal workforce. I want you to take a look at your screen here. Our sources within OPM say that these are just some of the agencies that have been impacted by these recent layoffs. That includes the Department of Education, the Department of Veteran Affairs, and the Small Business Administration as well. Now, we were told termination letters that went out yesterday telling some people they were, quote, not fit for employment based on the agency's needs. Now, we do know that more people are facing layoffs. So far, they have been limited to probationary employees, but it is unclear if that trend will continue. Now, the White House says 75,000 employees took that so-called buyout that was on the table. That is still less than half of what the administration had hoped for, and we do know the deadline to accept that deal has now passed. Now, meantime, local jurisdictions like Montgomery County, they are trying to offer support for those impacted. We know there are so many federal workers that live in the DMV, and they're trying to help people who are impacted as far as where to go for assistance. But County Executive Mark Elridge says that financial help would have to come from the state level, and he says keeping former federal workers in the county could prove to be very difficult.
One of the challenging things is going to be getting jobs that match the skill levels of the people who are retiring from the federal government or the specialty areas that they have. So you not only have to find the jobs are going to have to fit. So I don't think this is going to be easy.
So all of this really having a trickle-down effect all the way to the local level. Again, that rally here outside the Department of Health and Human Services set to start in just 2 hours at 8 o'clock this morning. A second rally is set to start at noon at Black Lives Matter Plaza. And just so much uncertainty for those federal workers. Not only for the federal workers, also for the services that these agencies provide, crucial services to so many people. And it's unclear how those layoffs are going to impact those services. So it's something that we will certainly stay on top of as this story continues to develop. Back to you.
Marcella, thank you so much. And we know there is so much uncertainty for federal workers and their families right now, and you can count on us to keep pressing for answers. For now, we can point you towards some resources. Just head to WUSA9.com.